Welcome to Texas Truck Channel. I'm Brian.
I'm Craig.
And this week we've got something brand new, actually. It's a 2024 Chevy Trax 2RS, and that gives you this right here. It's basically a baby Blazer, and I don't know how else to explain its styling than that. The benefit, though, is this thing starts out at just over 20 grand on the base trim, and you get something that is this big. This is actually a very big car. You're thinking about competition of Kia Souls, Seltos, Kona, maybe Ford Escape. This feels about the size of a Ford Escape. It feels bigger than the Kia Soul, although the interior segments are about the same. Its footprint and overall room is really impressive. Styling wise, like I said, corporate nose from the Blazer, nothing to complain about. I think it fits it very well. I'm really happy with that. Corporate grille. This one has the black bow tie, which, look, if you're a Chevy guy, you're gonna do that anyways. I like that. But check out the wheels.
Hang on. What about these headlight treatments? I think they've done this is a neat thing they've done here.
Oh, okay, well, yeah, you've got this is a signature LED light up here, but your headlight's actually down below. This is actually something that Kia has done quite a bit. They've moved the headlight down low with an accent light above. Obviously, your marker lights are down here. Another thing I like up front is that you have a black chrome bezel around here. And look, it's not gonna last in the car wash, we know that. Neither is gloss black on the interior, which everyone seems to do, so I guess we have to get over it. So let's check out the wheels. All right, let's come on down to Tire Town. We always know tires are important. This is rolling on a pretty good Continental Pro Contact. It's a fine tire, no complaints. It's got some interesting side siping lines. Totally a highway tire, nothing off-road intention, and it's got a long tread life. Now, what I want to point out is what's in the middle of that. That's the 19-inch wheel. It looks good, but it's too big for this power plant. This is a 1.2 turbo. We'll talk about power in a minute, but this makes mileage worse, makes it handle worse, and makes acceleration worse, which we'll find out on 0-60 test in a minute, but the looks are there. Make your pick.
And front-wheel drive only.
Yes, front-wheel drive only, no all-wheel drive option at all. Keeping it simple here. Coming down the side, you've got black mirror caps, black roof rails, and look in the middle here. Here's where that $21,000 is coming in. This is not gloss black. This is kind of textured, cheaper black. But man, the thing I'm most excited about is right here, Craig. It's capless. They got it right. Okay, so look, not bad. Also, this red paint looks pretty awesome. All right, coming up back, we've got a traditional hatch. You've got a normal-looking taillight. In fact, it looks like it's off of kind of the last gen Focus to me a little bit, that hatch kind of taillight. Nothing wrong with that. You've got blacked out emblems on this one, looks pretty cool. And the RS badging out back. GM guys love that. The exhaust tip is not exposed, and I'm totally fine with that. This is not a car that's really looking to do that, but something else you'll notice is that there's no trailer hitch, there's no accessory mount for bike racks and that kind of stuff. It's a very simple car for simple money. Let's check out the powertrain. Okay, before we hop under the hood, I want to get into things that are, well, more interesting to me, and it's where things come from on this car, Craig. This thing is 55% from Korea, 3% from the US and Canada region, and 21% from Mexico. Final assembly point is in Korea. Engine's from Mexico, transmission is from Korea as well. So this is more Korean than it is maybe most Kias.
Yeah, but it's Chevy, so it's 100% American and apple pie.
Heartbeat, baby. Heartbeat of America. So let's check out the engine. Under the hood here, you've got, it's really hot by the way, kind of a heavy hood, good old prop rod. This thing is good for 137 horsepower and 162 foot-pounds of torque. And there it is, the baby turbo. 3-cylinder, in case you didn't believe me. Look right here. 1, 2, 3. 3 coil packs. That's it. Does have direct injection, does have a turbo on the back, and it's paired to a 6-speed automatic. No CVT here. I like that. Craig's kind of impartial on it. And mileage is the next thing I want to get at, and that's where the 19s don't help very much. This sticker right here claims 30 miles a gallon combined, 32 highway, 28 city. If you had 17s, 35 on the highway is what it's good for. According to the EPA, we'll talk about what we got on the driving portion after Craig talks about interior.
All right, let's check out the interior of the 2024 Chevy Trax. And simplicity is the motto. Brian mentioned that earlier for simple purchase, simple car. Hit the button, it's not powered, you just pull it. That's not a bad thing. I actually like that because it's simple, it's not gonna break, it just works. Back here, Brian, look at all this room. This is actually a lot of room for this type of car. This is a subcompact crossover class. Look, you're up against things like Souls and Seltoses and things like that, Konas. There is also Tauses and other cars in that segment. Yeah. But this is, yeah, CX-30. This has more room than a lot of those cars. In fact, most of them. In fact, under here, you get a little bonus. You're not gonna believe what's under here, Brian. That's an actual tire. It's a
Where's the inflator kit?
A goodness awful. Yes, it's a tire. It's a real tire.
I like
so,
that.
all right, Brian, I want to show you how much room you can get in here when you fold the seats down. Fold these seats down, put it that side down. I got a cooler on the other side, so we can't do it.
Okay.
But that is a lot of room. What we're really getting here is, I know it's a crossover, but really it's a tall hatchback wagon. That's
Yeah,
what
but
it
you know
is.
what you can do with crossovers? You can sleep in them. Can you fit in there?
You better believe you can sleep in there. I mean, gosh, that'd be great. Look at this. You could overland in this with the roof racks too. You could put a tent up there.
You're set.
You're bet. You're in business. All right, this is the portion of the segment where let's see how much Craig can sweat in 110-degree heat in a car that's turned off. Turns out it's quite a lot. No, actually, that's what do they call it? Evotex?
Oh, it's synthetic, whatever it is.
Yeah, whatever it is. Let's start at the door, Brian. Start at the door. There's not any soft touch materials back here. This is pretty hard plastic, but it's okay. It's a simple car. It's easy to take care of and easy to maintain because look, kids are just going to spill stuff back here. That's all it is. But you do have cubbies for drinks to spill and milk, that sort of thing. Here's the most important thing I want to, you mentioned earlier, Brian, front wheel drive only. Do you see this flat load floor?
Whoa, I had not seen
that. That is normally reserved only in like EVs where you don't have any running gear, but because this platform has no all-wheel drive options, they don't have to put a tunnel here, which means look at all that room. And then let's check out all that room. So, sit back here. I'm sitting behind Brian, who is 6'4", and look how much room I have here. I have a lot of room here in between the seat and my legs. And the flat load floor, I can kind of just spread out and be comfortable.
You can man spread back here.
I can man spread right here. Look, I got a trash bin for Starbucks wrappers, USB-C, USB-A charging, no rear vents, but that's okay. You don't need it. But look, I'm wearing a nice cowboy hat here, and it's not touching at all. And Brian, I think you can fit back here. Why don't you get on back here?
I'm sitting behind whoever was here first.
And that seat could definitely go forward, so that's a little unfair.
Yeah,
but
this is not a problem, actually. This is actually a recline back.
Sure.
Look, I was expecting a lot worse.
Yeah.
Now, would I want this all the time? No, but if we're going to do it, I could just slump it a little bit. I'd be okay.
Oh, for what?
And that's with the sunroof.
Right. And you mentioned earlier, one of the key points with this car is we don't think this may be the best spec or package to get. There is an actual trim that's lower than this that starts in the $21,000 range. You save a lot of money and you gain more headspace because that goes away.
Absolutely.
Let's move to the front. Moving on up to the captain's quarters, let's check out that door. It's a little bit nicer up here in first class, Brian. You get a soft touch with that red stitching. That's kind of cool. On my side, I get auto down windows, all four, but not auto up on any of them. A little interesting. Two little cubbies here for bottle holders, and that's nice and works quite well. Moving on in, I don't get any power seats. It's manually operated front and back, but you can get it in a position that works for you. That seat sits a little higher for some reason. Passenger seats always sit higher. It's just a thing. All right, getting on into the actual seat, there's, like I say, here's the secret about this car. Room galore, even up front up here. I have plenty of space for the passenger, for me, seats in the back. We already talked about that. But Brian, here's the coolest thing. This charger, you put it in there, your phone doesn't slide anywhere, and it just works every single time you put it in. That part's great. Storage is a little simple and basic, but again, this car is simple. You just got a big deep hole, that works. This is very simple. You can put things there. Who knows what you want to put there? There's actually plenty of room for a lot of things. Someone else's phone's got a spot to ride right there. That's nice. They've thought about where the phone needs to sit. That's good. Okay, let's look at the actual startup gauges. Let's check all that fun stuff out because it's also really hot and some AC would be nice, but we're not gonna do that. So you do have some gauges here in the middle. It's a smaller display. I don't know if maybe they reserved the comparable Buick for the bigger display, not sure, but you can get analog gauges in the $21,000 spec. But this spec, we do get some fun stuff. Let's talk about that. So we can actually change it is hold this button down, and it's weird, and then you let go, and then the option comes up if you want to change it. So I can go to gauge 2, and that looks a little different. Cool, you lose the tach though, but look how the speedometer kind of swirls. That's kind of cool. Hold it down, let go to the next one. And then we can get to this gauge. The speedometer goes backwards like that, kind of weird. Again, you still lose the tach, so I don't really know what's going on there, but you lose the tach. But it's cool at this price point, you can actually get different options there. That's pretty neat. And of course, you can get vehicle info and change all that stuff. If you want different things there, you come over here to this display, which is actually a great display, and you get this display in all the trims, and that's probably the best part because you can change these gauges to your coolant temp, your battery voltage, your tripometer. You can reset that from here, fuel economy, and check out your tire gauges and that sort of thing. You also get Apple CarPlay, which is great and was wireless, which is at this price point is a big deal. Then go back to the home screen and get all your other settings you can change as well. Moving on down here, we get automatic climate control in this particular trim. It's not dual zone, it is single zone, but it works fine. No problems to report there. Just a traditional shifter because the best thing about this, Brian mentioned it earlier, no CVT. And with that, let's go see what it does 0 to 60.
All right, ready?
Yep. All right, Brian, 2024 Trax RS for Rally Sport, which means it's going to be quick. Hit it! Oh, a little wheel spin. Okay, all right, all right. 1.2 liters of Fury.
2.90.
Oh, we got numbers. Tell us what we get to 60. We're doing 50 by now.
16th mile time
60 miles an hour.
0 to 60 miles per hour time 13.
Wait, what was that?
Well, you may have already heard her. If you turned her off, that'd be great. 13.91 with me in the car. Now, to be fair, Brian, if we need to put any of these caveats out there.
My mic is off.
Oh, great. To be fair, Brian, it is 109 degrees.
Which is why my mic battery just died, by the way.
Yeah, so a lot of things are failing, not just 0 to 60 times.
Right.
What's the quickest you got without me in the car?
11.18. But I did get multiple repeated runs that were very consistent at 11.29.
Brian, what did the Toyota Land Cruiser get with both of us in the car?
16?
Wasn't that bad?
Yeah.
16, okay.
Yeah.
So that's fair.
But that was not loading the torque converter. Like, you were so nervous at that point.
And without both of us in the car, we got like 14 something.
Yeah, look,
So.
it goes down without any kind of contestant. This is the slowest manufacturer-provided vehicle we've ever tested.
And look, it's a 1.2 liter, 3-cylinder, all-new engine.
Turbo. So heat is an issue, 109 degrees.
You do get a traditional auto, which means you could load the torque converter and get some wheel spin. That's fun.
That
So
did
talk
help,
about that.
So that did help. So when I just gave it full throttle from the stop, no one was home until 15 or 20 miles an hour. It was real bad. If I loaded it really heavy, it would actually spin the tires quite a bit. It had all the torque, I think, at once. It was at full boost. If I did somewhere in the middle, it gave a little chirp on rollout, and that's where it hit the 11.18. That was the best version.
Okay. Does it need to be faster? I don't know that it really needs to be faster.
Yeah, everything needs to be faster, obviously.
Well, okay, but the person that's buying this,
yeah.
I just don't. It's not so slow that like it's actually dangerous per se.
No. It's look, if you're already rolling and then you lay into it, it feels fine.
Yeah.
I think it's out of the hole. It struggles so much, and I think also on the top end, it runs out of steam real fast.
Yeah.
It's really programmed for mid-range, and that's honestly when you're driving most of the time. That's all you need.
When you're driving normal, it's honestly you don't notice anything.
Yeah.
It's when you do try to hustle a little bit because you're like, well, this car kind of feels like it could be sporty because it is light, and you're like, well, this could be, and maybe that's the whole problem. This car feels really light in a lot of things, and I wish it could feel sportier, but then the transmission just kind of stays asleep on you.
Yeah, and look, and this is the debate Craig and I have had off camera all week, or a few times this week. I'm glad that there are gears in this thing. There's not a rubber band CVT in here.
Absolutely, that's a good thing.
You made a good argument that at this level of car and performance, does it even matter?
I don't know that it does.
It probably doesn't. And look, and this is not an example of a good auto. It just is an auto, and I'm glad that it does have it. I'll stay in that camp, but I'm not going to fault someone else getting the other car because it's a CVT.
Now, it means we should be getting really good mileage of because EPA is
32.
32 combined or the highway?
Highway.
Okay, and what have we gotten? We've got them on the screen here.
I'm looking right here. Trip 1 is 25.8 miles a gallon, and trip 2, which is basically today in testing, 20.6.
Yeah, so we
not good
really just we averaged about 26, 27 no matter what we did the whole time we've had this car. I did do a mileage run on the way home from work.
Okay.
So I drove responsibly, never went over the speed limit once, and I did get 33 miles to the gallon. So you can hit the highway number, to be fair.
But I do feel like with a 1.2 liter, it should do that without trying.
I really thought I would get higher.
I thought 35 is what and maybe it's the 19s. Honestly, that goes back to our first point. The base trim with 17-inch wheels is probably better performance-wise everywhere.
Yeah, and that's the problem. And that's the problem with this car. At 28 City, I really thought I'd hit 28 without trying.
Right.
And I struggled getting 28 the rest of the time. And that's the problem.
And look, and that's where a CVT competitor would get 35 in the city without
a fair
trying.
point.
So there's a trade-off. I just want to end it on this. Starting at $20,000 to $21,000, this is a lot of room for that.
Yeah, unbelievable amount of room for that kind of money.
And it doesn't look stupid. It doesn't.
No, it looks good.
Right, it looks great. It doesn't have like a goofy box look or hamster look or Pontiac Aztec look. Like it looks good.
Here's how good it looks. When I went to pick this car up from you, we usually meet in parking lots and in between our houses, and I saw Porsche Macan, and I thought for a second, is that the Trax? Because the new Trax looks really good.
Oh, when you get your eyes checked. Thanks for watching That's the Truck Channel.
No one else will compare a Trax to Macan. That's what you're here for. You're here for that content.
There you go.
Be sure to subscribe and like and comment. That's how we do more of these. Thanks for watching.
See you next time.